The unexpected magic of gardening after 60. As we age, we often search for ways to stay active, engaged, and emotionally fulfilled. But what if I told you the solution might be right in your backyard, or even just on your windowsill? Welcome to Elderly and Wise, where we explore ways to thrive in your golden years. Today, we're digging into something surprisingly powerful: gardening. You might think of gardening as a pleasant hobby, something you do to pass time or beautify your home. But there's growing evidence, no pun intended, that gardening offers profound health benefits, especially for people over 60. Let's look at the science. Multiple studies show that gardening reduces stress hormones like cortisol. Just 30 minutes a day with your hands in the soil can lower blood pressure, elevate mood, and even improve memory. Researchers have found that seniors who garden regularly report fewer feelings of loneliness and depression. And it's not just psychological. Gardening provides light physical activity that can improve strength, balance, and coordination. It's movement without the pressure of exercise. But more than anything, gardening gives you a sense of control and purpose. Watching a seed grow into something beautiful, whether a flower, a tomato, or a towering sunflower, reminds you that growth is possible at every age. It reminds you that with a little care, even the smallest beginnings can lead to something remarkable. You don't need acres of land. You don't need fancy equipment. You don't even need prior experience. You just need the willingness to start. In this video, we'll explore 5 simple gardening tips designed specifically for seniors who want to improve their physical health, mental clarity, and emotional well-being. These aren't complicated techniques, just practical, joyful steps to make gardening accessible, enjoyable, and deeply healing. So whether you're a lifelong gardener or just someone who's curious about the magic of planting something and watching it grow, stay with us. You might be surprised by how much joy and health you can cultivate with your own 2 hands. Tip 1. Start small and keep it simple. One of the biggest mistakes people make when starting a garden, especially later in life, is going too big, too soon. We see grand visions of vegetable plots and blooming borders, but the reality of watering, weeding, and maintaining those spaces can quickly become overwhelming. The key: start small. If you're new to gardening or returning after a break, begin with just 3 or 4 pots. Choose easy-to-grow herbs like basil, mint, or thyme. These not only require minimal maintenance, but they also offer rewarding results: fresh flavor for your meals and lovely scents for your home. If you want to try vegetables, opt for cherry tomatoes or leafy greens like spinach and lettuce. They thrive in containers and grow quickly, giving you early success and motivation to continue. You can even try compact fruit varieties. Strawberries grow beautifully in hanging baskets. The beauty of starting small is that you avoid burnout. You get to enjoy gardening, not feel burdened by it. As your confidence and energy grow, you can add more containers or even graduate to raised beds. Also consider your space. No backyard? No problem. A balcony, windowsill, or porch can host a beautiful garden. You'd be amazed what a few pots of green can do for your spirit and your environment. Gardening is not a race or a performance. It's about rhythm, observation, and care. A handful of well-loved plants is more powerful than an overgrown garden you dread tending. So take that first step with just a few pots and let your garden grow alongside you. Tip 2. Use senior-friendly gardening tools. Gardening is wonderful, but if your tools are working against you, it can become uncomfortable fast. As we age, our grip weakens, our knees ache, and our flexibility changes. That doesn't mean we stop gardening. It just means we adapt. Modern gardening tools are now designed with ergonomics in mind, especially for seniors. Let's start with the basics. Invest in tools with soft, non-slip grips. These reduce hand strain and help prevent arthritis flare-ups. Look for lightweight materials like aluminum or reinforced plastic. Heavy tools may seem durable, but they can wear you down faster than you think. Long-handled tools are a game changer. They reduce the need to bend over or kneel. A long-handled trowel, weeder, or cultivator lets you work while standing or sitting on a stool. Combine this with a rolling garden seat or kneeling bench, especially one with support bars to help you stand back up easily. For pruning and trimming, choose ratcheting pruners. These clever devices use a mechanism that multiplies your strength so you can make clean cuts with less effort. Another overlooked tool? A garden caddy or tote with wheels. Carrying heavy watering cans or tools back and forth can strain your back. With a caddy, you keep everything in one mobile place. Lastly, don't forget safety gear. Padded gloves protect aging skin from scratches and sun damage. Wide-brimmed hats and sunscreen are musts if you garden outdoors. Remember, the goal is to garden comfortably and confidently. The right tools make gardening not just easier, but more enjoyable, safer, and sustainable over time. Tip 3. Choose low-maintenance, high-reward plants. When it comes to gardening in your later years, less really is more, especially when it comes to plant care. The secret to stress-free gardening is choosing low-maintenance, high-reward plants that thrive with minimal effort and still offer beauty, nutrition, or scent. Let's begin with perennials. These are plants that come back year after year, reducing the need to replant. They're dependable and forgiving, which is exactly what we want. Consider daylilies, black-eyed Susans, echinacea, or lavender. These plants are drought-resistant, pest-tolerant, and require little more than sunshine and occasional trimming. Herbs are another fantastic choice. Not only are they easy to grow, but they're also incredibly rewarding. Rosemary, thyme, sage, oregano, and parsley grow well in small containers or garden beds. They offer delightful aromas and add a nutritional punch to your meals. Better yet, many herbs repel insects and can enhance the overall health of your garden. If flowers bring you joy, go for zinnias, marigolds, or cosmos. These annuals bloom quickly, are resilient in hot weather, and attract pollinators like bees and butterflies, bringing your garden to life with motion and color. Prefer edibles. Choose leafy greens like kale, Swiss chard, or arugula. They're quick to harvest and regrow after cutting, giving you a continuous crop. Tomatoes, cucumbers, and peppers are also easy and productive. Opt for bush or dwarf varieties that require less staking and pruning. For those who want color and life without a lot of watering, succulents and drought-tolerant plants are lifesavers. Sedum, hens and chicks, and aloe vera thrive with minimal attention. And here's a pro tip. Use mulch around your plants. Mulching conserves water, suppresses weeds, and keeps the soil cool. That means less time spent watering and weeding. Remember, the goal is not to create a show garden. It's to nurture a space that brings joy without becoming a chore. With the right plant choices, your garden can practically care for itself, and you can enjoy the fruits of your labor without constant maintenance. Tip 4. Design for comfort with raised beds and vertical gardens. Let's talk comfort. One of the most common challenges older gardeners face is the physical strain of bending, kneeling, and lifting. The solution? Raised beds and vertical gardening. Raised beds are like your garden on stilts. Built 2 to 3 feet high, they allow you to garden without kneeling or bending over. You can even set up a chair or stool beside them and tend to your plants while seated. This design is easier on your back, knees, and hips, making gardening more accessible for those with arthritis, limited mobility, or balance concerns. You can construct raised beds from wood, recycled plastic, or metal, whatever suits your budget and style. Many gardening centers even sell pre-assembled kits. For extra ease, consider adding a ledge around the edge of the bed so you can rest tools or your elbows while you work. Next, vertical gardening. This is perfect for small spaces like balconies or patios, and it brings your plants up to eye level, reducing the need to stoop. You can use hanging baskets, tiered planters, trellises, or even wall-mounted pots. Vertical gardens work especially well for climbers like beans, cucumbers, peas, or flowering vines like clematis and morning glory. Not only does this method save ground space, but it also increases air circulation, which helps reduce disease and pests. You can even upcycle common household items into vertical gardens. Old ladders, wooden pallets, or shoe organizers can be transformed into plant-holding structures with just a little creativity. When designing your garden, also consider pathways. Use flat, non-slip surfaces like pavers or mulch, and keep the paths wide enough for walkers or wheelchairs if needed. Accessibility and comfort should always be top priorities. A well-designed garden isn't just functional, it's empowering. It gives you the freedom to grow what you love in a way that supports your body and mind. Tip 5. Turn gardening into a daily wellness ritual. Gardening isn't just a hobby, it can become one of the most therapeutic parts of your day. When treated as a daily wellness ritual, gardening offers mental clarity, emotional peace, and a consistent reason to get moving. The best part? You don't need hours each day. Just 20 to 30 minutes in the morning or evening can create a rhythm that nurtures your body and mind. Think of this as your green meditation. As you water your plants, pull a few weeds, or check on new growth, you're grounding yourself in the present. You're breathing fresh air, feeling the textures of leaves and soil, and noticing the small details of life, things we often miss in the rush of everyday living. Science backs this up. Gardening has been shown to lower cortisol levels, the body's primary stress hormone. It increases serotonin, which boosts mood and supports sleep. The physical activity involved, stretching, lifting, bending, also strengthens your joints and improves circulation. And don't underestimate the emotional rewards. There's a deep sense of purpose that comes with nurturing living things. Watching a bud open or a seed sprout gives you visual proof that your care matters. That joy, that sense of being needed and connected, it's priceless. You can enhance this ritual even further by combining gardening with other wellness habits. Try bringing your tea or coffee outside in the morning and observing your plants. Journal your garden's progress or sketch your favorite blooms. Add music or calming nature sounds. Make it your personal sanctuary. Whether you're growing vegetables or petunias, the act of showing up daily, even briefly, creates a bond between you and your space. It also sets a tone of mindfulness that often carries into the rest of your day. Gardening can become the healthiest habit you didn't know you needed. Bonus section. Invite wildlife for a living garden experience. One of the most magical ways to enhance your gardening experience, especially in your later years, is by inviting wildlife into your green space. And no, we're not talking about raccoons or squirrels making off with your tomatoes. We're talking about birds, butterflies, bees, and ladybugs, gentle visitors that not only bring beauty and life to your garden, but also help it thrive. Creating a wildlife-friendly garden is easier than you think, and the rewards are enormous. First, let's talk about birds. A simple bird feeder filled with seeds can attract finches, robins, or even cardinals depending on where you live. Watching birds flit through your garden, listening to their songs, and seeing them bathe in a shallow water dish can bring deep joy and tranquility. For many older adults, bird watching becomes a beloved morning ritual. Next up, pollinators. Bees, butterflies, and hummingbirds are not only beautiful, they're essential for the health of your plants. Adding nectar-rich flowers like coneflowers, bee balm, zinnias, or milkweed will turn your garden into a pollinator paradise. Choose a mix of colors, heights, and blooming times to keep these guests coming throughout the season. If you have a vegetable or herb garden, attracting beneficial insects like ladybugs and lacewings can help control pests naturally. These little garden allies feed on aphids and other nuisances, reducing the need for chemical sprays and keeping your garden ecosystem in balance. Providing fresh water is another important step. A shallow bowl with stones for perching, changed regularly to avoid mosquitoes, can become a reliable water source for many types of wildlife. And don't forget shelter. Simple additions like a small pile of logs, dense shrubs, or even a homemade insect hotel can provide safe havens for visiting creatures. Aside from the ecological benefits, there's something incredibly soothing and affirming about tending a garden that's alive with motion. Butterflies fluttering, bees buzzing, birds chirping. It reminds us we're part of something greater. It transforms your garden into a living, breathing world that interacts with you every day. For seniors, these connections matter. Watching nature in action fosters a sense of presence, mindfulness, and purpose. It offers a welcome distraction from loneliness or stress, and above all, it brings a sense of delight and renewal every time you step outside. So as you build your garden, don't just grow plants, grow life. Invite nature in and let your garden become a haven not just for you, but for all the beautiful, winged, and wondrous creatures that come to visit. Grow health, joy, and peace, one plant at a time. We often talk about wellness as a checklist. Exercise more, eat better, reduce stress. But what if we reimagine wellness as a garden? A space you cultivate over time, with care, patience, and joy. A space that grows with you at your own pace. That's the magic of gardening in old age. It's not about how much you grow or how perfectly your garden blooms. It's about what gardening gives back to you. Movement without pressure, peace without pills, joy without cost. Your garden becomes your sanctuary. It's where you move, where you pause, where you reconnect with nature, with yourself, with the rhythm of life that often gets lost in noise and worry. So whether you're growing tomatoes in containers, herbs on your windowsill, or wildflowers in your backyard, you're doing something profound. You're investing in your well-being. You're reclaiming your space, your peace, your presence. Start with one pot. Choose one plant. Show up daily. Let nature do the rest. Thank you for spending this time with Elderly and Wise. If you found inspiration today, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share it with someone you love. Tell us in the comments, what's the first plant you're going to grow? Until next time, stay rooted, stay healthy, and as always, keep growing.